Hey there, welcome back. Thanks for watching and checking out my video. Today I'm going to talk about a Pallas 20 gauge 3-inch single barrel break open shotgun. I picked it up from Cabelas. The reason I'm doing it is because there wasn't a whole lot of information on there when I went to buy this, and I really wish there had been, so I'm going to try and do my best to remedy that situation right now. As I said, it was purchased from Cabelas. It is a entry-level shotgun. Picked it up just to have something to play with, blinking and brush gun, maybe some upland game birds, that kind of thing. But I didn't want to spend a whole lot at the time, so I started with this one. Cabelas had it on for a really good price actually, and it was on sale. Okay, so a little bit about it. Like I said, it is a break open single shot 20 gauge shotgun for 3-inch, which also means, of course, that you can run the 2 3/4 inch in it. It has your safety on the side, trigger guard. Of course, this is the trigger to open it up. When you close it again, it automatically cocks it. So there's no slide or pump action on it. As soon as you close the breech back up with a shell or in it or out of it, it is ready to fire. You can let it out pretty easily if your safety's not on. There, and now it is ready to be stored. Put trigger guard on it or load a shell and fire it. It feels like a good shotgun. It is nothing fancy. It's got your typical bead sight on the front. It's made by Pallas, which apparently is in Germany. It's synthetic stock. The foregrip, optional sling mounts on it, swivel sling mounts. You can put them on or you can take them off. There is a section here on the foregrip that has a notch in it. That is so when you break it open, you can put it in there, but you do have to move the trigger back manually to fit in there. It stops just short of the actual slot, so in order to put it down for like backpack or suitcase or that, you do have to move that a little bit. It is, it's decent weight. It feels like it's a decent weapon and whatnot. And the reviews online on Cabelas, if you look at them, they come across as being positive, right? There's a couple that talk about the firing pin and how they had to do this and that to fix it. So most of the other ones that are on the surface are pretty good. If you dig deeper into it, that changes. I actually even question whether all the negative reviews make the Cabelas website. I filled one out, wasn't overly bad, and did the confirmation and verified my email address and that. It never did get posted. It wasn't even overly bad either, so maybe that would explain why there seems to be more positives than negatives. I don't know, it's kind of weird. The first time I took it out, I was pretty excited, box of shells, family, that kind of thing. Loaded it up, got into position and whatnot, and pulled the trigger, click, nothing. Okay, so from the reviews, I knew that the firing pin might need to be cleaned and lubricated. I'd already done that when I first got it, but I figured I'd just try it again. So carefully wait for the hang fire, pull out, in case it's a hang fire, pull out the shell, put it away, kind of a thing. Do some cleaning and whatnot on the firing pin, and then put a shell back in and try to get ready, and click. Nothing. It ended up firing, I think, 3 times out of 15 or 20 attempts. And each one of those 15 or 20 attempts had to stop and wait for the hang fire in case it was that, open up the breech, remove the shell. All the while I'm stressing because I'm not overly familiar with this kind of an issue, so I'm worried it's going to go off or something when I'm pulling it out. Fortunately, knock on wood, it didn't, but yeah, it was stressful. What it is, and I'll put some pictures on the inlay in there, is that the firing pin on the inside is high and to the left, so it's actually rubbing on the wall of the port there, and of the hole, whatever you want to call it. It's actually rubbing on that hole. So it comes out and it doesn't strike the primer in the shell dead center. So this one, you can see, in order to get it to fire, I had to kind of open it and move it like this, each little by little each time, to get it to fire. And that's how I figured out what was going on, is that it was the firing pin. So okay, I tried everything I could do. I went online, I looked, I read the reviews of how other people fixed the problem off Cabelas and whatnot. That's where I found out, when I started to dig deeper, that that's a common complaint, and it is the majority of the complaint. And most of the people, when you get below the surface, actually tell you not to buy this gun. Information I wish I'd known at the time. So anywho, I contact Cabelas and I tell them, explain the situation and whatnot, and ask how I'm supposed to proceed with it. And I got an email back, very, very short, that just told me that all sales are final, and gave me a phone number for the Pallas Corporation or company in Germany. And I've contacted them, but I'm still waiting to hear back, and I'm not really holding my breath. It's been 4 days now, I believe. So yeah, if you are thinking about buying this gun, I would definitely say don't. I'm sure that I'll be able to take it to a gunsmith and get it fixed, but I shouldn't have to on a brand new weapon. I mean, it wasn't ridiculously cheap, but it wasn't super expensive, right? So for what I paid, I feel I should have gotten a firearm that was able to fire more than 3 times, and that's out of the box, right? So I will include some pictures in with this so you can actually see more of what I'm talking about. It's kind of hard to see with the camera setup that I have. But yeah, I would definitely steer away from this. And if you are having the problem with it and aren't really sure what it could be, check your firing pin, because that is almost definitely where your problem lies. So it seems to be a common thing, and if I'd been wiser and dug deeper from the beginning and not been fooled by the price, I would have seen that this is not a very good gun. It is very problematic. We're not talking about a couple of reviews, we're talking about a lot of them, and going back years, like 2, 3, 4 years, etc., back in time and older, and they all have the same complaint, and they all say they wouldn't recommend it and whatnot. So why Cabelas Canada still has it in their inventory and continues to promote it and whatnot is beyond me. I guess, I mean, if you can offer something that cheap and not have to worry about warrantying it, sure, why not, right? I can definitely tell you that I will not be ordering from Cabelas Canada anymore. I mean, the whole reason to shop at a large corporation is because you're supposed to be covered by warranty and expect some service, and the service I received was far from wanting. It was pathetic. So yeah, I don't usually go in for doing firearms kind of videos. Everybody else does it, and they do it better than I do, but I consider this one less of a review than I do consider it a public service. People should be aware that these things are problematic, and that they are known for this problem that I am experiencing, and that Cabelas does not extend any sort of warranty or help, or even an "I'm sorry, we sold you a piece of junk." They don't do any of that, and as far as I can tell so far, Pallas, the firearms company from, well, the address I have is Germany, they don't seem to care either. So it's kind of like a buyer beware. You get what you pay for, haha. I don't know how you say that in German, but it's probably in their brochure somewhere. So yeah, it's if you luck out and you happen to be one of the ones who get a decent model, more power to you. But from what I'm seeing and reading, and that is that they're not, and you do have to dig, which is kind of sneaky on Cabelas' part, because you would expect that it would be up front. I mean, you would expect that they wouldn't carry it because it's been a problem weapon for several years. So, yeah, take that for whatever it's worth. Alright, so this is not something I really do a whole lot of the time, almost never actually. I'm going to warn people against these particular firearms, especially if you're purchasing it from Cabelas Canada. I don't know about the 12 gauge and the 410 or other models that Pallas makes specifically, but if their warranty and quality is anything like the 20 gauge that I bought, I would strongly suggest people don't do it. For one, Cabelas Canada, you think you're gonna, help you out and whatnot. They don't. They toss you a quick, 6-word email that says you're on your own pretty much. Toss you a phone number for a company in Germany, and that's it. Then you try and contact that company in Germany, Pallas, and they won't do anything for you. They won't even get back to you. And that's been it's been about a month now, and I've had repeated tries of going at them to try and, pleasantly, catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. So, but I've had no luck with any of them, Pallas or Cabelas Canada. The kicker for me, though, and this is what really upset the apple cart and made me come to this conclusion pretty much, is that Cabelas wouldn't publish my review. Now, they've been pushing this shotgun for years. You can go back into the reviews 3 years, easy. You can look at the ads that they've run for these shotguns. They put them on sale quite often. They push them out there and whatnot. If you go to the Cabelas Canada website, there are 24 reviews. 24 reviews in 3 years on a shotgun that is $100 or a little over 100, 129, 229, depending on where you go, what year, kind of what day kind of thing. They change it up all the time. 24 reviews over at least 3 or 4 years. That there's something wrong there. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't strike me as being right. And after submitting my review and not having them publish it, they flat out refused. They just didn't do it. They gave me the confirmation. They told me that I had to confirm my email, which I did. And by all rights, it should have gone live at that point, but it didn't. Okay, maybe they're, subject to checking it out and whatnot, quality control, make sure I'm not swearing or, being obnoxious or something. A month later, and it still hasn't made in their website. No, something's wrong there. So I'm guessing that they probably don't publish every review, and that a lot of the information that you should be hearing about this particular firearm, you're not getting. And to me, that's shady as hell. So I would warn people against it flat out. Just steer away from them. There are other ones out there, like I've said. There's Canuck, there's Churchill, there's Midland. There's all sorts of them, right? You can go online and find any number of entry-level shotguns that have a much better history, much better warranty, and they're provided to you by businesses that actually know what it means to provide customer service. Like, there are several online, like Tenda. There's another one, Dr. Deals, Smoking Gun. Those are good ones. SFRC, that's theammosource.com. There's Firearms Outlet Canada. So those are just some of the ones that are online that you can go to, and they're far more competitive than Cabelas. They provide a better service. There's more diversity in what's available. The prices are infinitely better. The shipping, at least a couple of them have free shipping. Low-end orders, like $200, something like that. So, yeah, I would probably advise people to go that direction and not support Cabelas, because I don't think that they are providing the service that they claim to, or that they should be, for what they're charging and whatnot. So, yeah, you have any questions, comments, if you have experiences with it, if you disagree, if you agree, I'd love to hear it. Like I always, please leave it in the comments below. If you like this and it helped you out, let me know. Toss me a subscribe, hit a like, comment, all that kind of stuff. And thanks for watching, and until next time, take her easy. Remember to lock them up and keep them safe.